all I have to say is it's too little too late. You shouldn't have passed the law in the first place. That's all I have to say.
I don't agree with that.
I do.
Read that as a thing.
Yeah. We can all agree to disagree without being disagreeable. We were informed the wetlands law had the least possibility of surviving an appeal.
Not better than 50%.
I think it was 50%.
I don't think we should be discussing percentages here.
I recall them saying it was about 50-50. And
The reason being?
We talked about it in executive.
in any case, I think the wetlands law has been poorly drafted. I went door to door in this town. I campaigned against the wetlands law. I went to the public meetings. I spoke out against the wetlands law. I remember saying this town may need a wetlands law, but not this law. And I'm glad to see it die a death if that's the decision that's made here tonight. There being no further discussion, we'll call the
Well, I
law.
would just encourage you then to vote for it and we'll change the law.
Exactly.
We got a motion and a second?
To protect our water, our drinking
The
water.
motion is to appeal the decision? No.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Wrong, Dick. Wrong.
Okay.
Ross, will you sit with Darlene tomorrow and give her the language of all those what ifs and whereases?
Are you in tomorrow, Valerie?
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Because I want to be sure she gets that
Yep.
down specifically.
We have a fourth one.
Yeah, we need
You want me to read it? Who's going to read it?
Sure.
Okay. Whereas the town of Milan did adopt a comprehensive plan, and further the town did enact consistent with that plan a local law entitled Freshwater Wetlands and Watercourses Protection Law. And the town was sued by 1133 Taconic et al. With respect to this law, which has resulted in a ruling that said action requires a de novo review of seeker. And the town board, upon advice of its attorneys, believes this decision to contain material errors of fact and law with respect to the Freshwater Wetlands and Watercourses Protection Law. Now, therefore, the town board of the town of Milan hereby resolves to authorize the filing of a notice of appeal with respect to the decision in 1133 Taconic et al., case index number 7771/2007. Further, the town board authorizes the consolidation of this appeal with the appeal of case index number 7379/2007, if appropriate in the judgment of our attorneys. I so move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
I would just like to point out that we are just, by having taken the action on freshwater wetlands over there, we are just rolling over in the face of the Carvel Corporation. And I'm appalled. I'm absolutely appalled.
I'll tell you what I'm appalled at.
Take your vote.
I'm appalled that these laws were jammed down the throats of people in spite of the turnout that I attended here. I objected to these laws myself in some detail.
There was
The hard look was never taken. The comp plan was shot down once in 2006 or 7. Went back to the judge in virtually the same form, shot down again. I'm appalled at that. I'm appalled at
Are
the
you
fact.
appalled at the judge or at us?
I'm appalled at the fact that no money was set aside in this budget by last year's board to fight this battle. And if not for the Greenway Compact, they'd all go down. I'm appalled by that. Last year with one lawsuit, this previous board spent $76,000. This year with 7 lawsuits, budgeted $63,000. The numbers don't add up. There's no way we could have fought this battle if not for the Greenway Compact. I'm appalled at that. I'm appalled at the irresponsibility of the former board not to take this obligation in hand. That's what I'm appalled at. We'll call the roll.
Can I just
Excuse
take
me.
Excuse
No,
me.
you
No.
can wait. We have.
No.
First of all, I need you to document for me the $76,000 was spent on one lawsuit. What was that
That's
spent?
not what I said.
What did
Sure it
you
is.
say?
That's exactly what you
Yes, it is. I
said.
believe that's what was
One
reported in
lawsuit.
the papers.
With
And
only
the
one
second-
lawsuit on its hands, the town spent a total of $76,000 on legal expenses last year.
But that $76,000 was $74,000, and that was legal expenses, and that's
And
non-litigation.
with 7 lawsuits to confront this year, the town board, having spent $76,000 last year on legal expenses, budgeted $63,000 this year.
There was not $76,000 of legal expenses for lawsuits last year.
I didn't say that.
Didn't come close.
I did not say
That's
that.
what was budgeted.
That's what was budgeted. And what was budgeted this year was $63,000 when we have 7 lawsuits to confront in addition to regular legal expenses.
We will inform the public of the actual
I'm
numbers.
sure you will.
At a later time.
I'm
This-
sure
this
you
is
will.
ridiculous.
I've heard numbers from 2,000 to now 76,000. I've seen no documentation. And I wish you could at least provide that for the board, if not for the public, because to just put that information out there without backing it up just seems very irresponsible to me.
We'll call roll.
Excuse me, I'm still speaking. So we have maybe by our May meeting, you could provide us with documentation for any one of those numbers that you put out there in the public.
The $63,000 is part of the 2008 budget.
It's in the budget.
It's in the budget for
Cut
this
dry.
year. I'm talking about
in the
the
budget.
other numbers that you float, anywhere from $200,000 to tonight $76,000.
No one mentioned
Excuse me,
$200,000.
David.
No, excuse me, you're saying we're
No,
mentioning
I am
$200,000.
still speaking.
Look,